So Caitlin Clark will be paid next year a whopping total of $76,000 in the WNBA. And everybody is very, very angry about this.
I mean, for somebody who is now the face of women's basketball, it seemed kind of ridiculous. A guy who is in the NBA first year, they can get $10 million.
Picture this. Caitlin Clark, the hottest rookie in the WNBA, is set to make about $76,000 in her first year. Now compare that to NBA rookie Victor Wembanyama's $55 million four-year deal. The difference is mind-blowing. Why is there such a huge gap? And what does it mean for the future of women's basketball? Speaking of those salaries now, have you ever wondered why elite WNBA players are choosing European courts over American ones? There's cold, hard cash to be found. What if I told you that some NBA bench warmers earn more than the highest paid WNBA player? Let's speak about some figures, and these aren't just any numbers, I assure you. They are the type that will enlarge your eyes. WNBA player Gabby Williams revealed something shocking that has everyone buzzing. She stated, "The W thinks that they don't have to pay us more in order for us to be here." Is that really true?
The gross NBA revenue is $11 billion. $11 billion. You want to know why the salaries are different? Because the revenue is different.
But there's just something about this that is so disturbing. I picture all the little girls with signs that say Caitlin, and then they're like, but this is what her contract is.
The WNBA has a gross annual revenue of like $180 million. That's for all of the teams. And there are dozens of teams.
Hey, you should be grateful just to play, seems to be the league's message. Wait, it gets even more bizarre. It has been asserted by the WNBA that players can make up to $700,000 from marketing. Sounds good, doesn't it? Gabby, though, isn't buying it. With a direct challenge, she said, "That's actually not true at all. There's not one player who makes that." What a sobering realization. What then is the true story? Get ready. In the WNBA, the top salary is slightly over $200,000. And that's it for the greatest of all times. Let's jump across the pond for a moment now. Legendary player Diana Taurasi was reportedly earning $1.5 million while competing in Russia. That is more than 7 times the WNBA's highest paid player's salary. This is where things get really crazy though. Do you recall Caitlin Clark, the up-and-coming star that has everyone talking? Her 4-year contract is worth slightly more than $300,000. Not kidding. Let's now contrast that with the NBA. The best NBA rookie, Victor Wembanyama, could earn a cool $55 million in his first 4 years of play. If you do the arithmetic, Wembanyama's income is around 162 times that of Clark. There is a huge disparity in pay, not just a chasm. Okay, but the NBA is bigger, right? Is probably what's on your mind. Yes, but 162 times more massive. That would be akin to equating Amazon with a lemonade stand. It seems sense that athletes are getting ready to head to Europe. They're not simply playing over there. They're getting compensated fairly. What's wild, you know, WNBA players aren't the only ones moving to Europe for financial gain. In the league, a storm is building, and it has nothing to do with pay. What's going on in the background that even the most committed athletes are thinking about giving up?
WNBA Player of the Week. There have only been 40 triple-doubles in the history of the WNBA. Cheryl Swoops recorded the first WNBA triple-double during the 1999 season, while Caitlin Clark logged the most recent triple-double earlier this week. She now has 102 on the season and is 19 away from Diana Taurasi in second place and 26 away from UNESCO of the New York Liberty. She ain't beating Asia Wilson for the MVP, but she's beating Angel Reese for the Rookie of the Year. That's a wrap. That's over. And props to Angel Reese, who's had a good year, by the way.
Let's discuss the drama that is developing. This year's WNBA has been somewhat of a disaster, and not only because of the poor pay. We are discussing management problems that are extremely frustrating for players. The WNBA is filled with unprofessionalism, poor officiating, and enough drama to make a reality TV show. Imagine yourself as a top player playing to the best of your abilities on the court, and the referees call calls that make you wonder if they even understand the rules. Isn't that annoying? That's what WNBA players have to deal with on a daily basis. Players are losing their composure, and spectators are baffled by the poor officiating. But it goes beyond the referees. A great deal of amateurish activity occurs behind the scenes. We're talking about managerial choices that raise questions about whether the individuals involved have ever watched a basketball game. It appears as though the league is attempting to manage itself using a 1950s playbook. All of this chaos and poor leadership, it's hurting the WNBA's standing. Players are searching for the door as fans become irate. You know you have a problem when the individuals who ought to be your strongest fans are shaking their heads. This is when things start to get interesting. The rookie phenom that everyone is raving about, Caitlin Clark, isn't just observing this happen. She is taking the initiative to speak up. Clark has been a proponent of giving opponents spot bonuses. Yes, you read correctly. She wants her rivals to be paid more. Why would she act in such way? Because Clark is aware of the need of justice and expanding the game, something the WNBA management appears to be lacking. Players want to see the extra money that comes in from higher viewing and attendance invested in the league and its athletes. The worst part is that the WNBA is unable to simply snap its fingers and make everything better. They find themselves ensnared in this restrictive collective bargaining agreement, CBA. It's restricting their options for resolving these problems and raising player remuneration. They seem to be attempting to play a contemporary game with antiquated rules. What's the deal then? Should WNBA players just put up with it until the CBA comes up for renewal? That's a bitter pill to swallow when European teams are swatting away contracts offering more money and, let's be honest, possibly better management. Consider it. Wouldn't a sweet deal from a European team tempt a WNBA star like her, living with all this controversy, subpar officiating, and feeling underappreciated? These days, it's not only about the money, it's also about professionalism, respect, and having your worth as an athlete recognized. Imagine this. Even though the WNBA is becoming more and more popular, its best players are still leaving for Europe. What is happening? There is a significant divergence that has the potential to permanently alter women's basketball in the United States. Given the current WNBA hype, one would think that players would be lining up to join rather than to leave. The fact remains, though, player contentment isn't commensurate with the league's prosperity. It is analogous to hosting a party at which everyone is having a great time, but the hosts are miserable. Let's dissect it. The WNBA is experiencing unprecedented levels of popularity. Products are disappearing from the shelves more quickly than you can say slam dunk. Audience size? Via the roof. More viewers than ever are tuning in to see up-and-coming talent like Caitlin Clark perform. This is where things get strange though. Even with all the excitement and money coming in, the players are still having trouble making ends meet. It appears as though the league is awash with cash, but the players are left holding the bag. The WNBA allegedly made about $60 million. However, some have estimated that the 2023 season may have brought in as much as $200 million. That's a lot of money, don't you think? False. For the players, anyway. Salaries are still trapped in the minor leagues, even with all this money. It's similar to the WNBA using real money to play Monopoly, except the participants get paid in tokens from board games. Okay, but surely they're working on fixing this. You may be asking yourself at this point, well, some gamers don't find it fast enough. Everyone is talking about the truth bomb that Gabby Williams dropped. She stated, if you want to keep international players, you need to do better. Hurt. That is a loud alarm staring the league in the face, not simply a wake-up call. But however, money is not the only factor. Recall all of the turmoil and lack of professionalism we previously discussed. Yes, that still exists. The WNBA seems to be attempting to operate its professional league with amateur hourly staff. Players have had enough of bad officiating, controversy behind the scenes, and being treated like second-class citizens. What would happen then if the WNBA couldn't pull itself together? We are discussing a talent flight that may make the Great Migration appear like a leisurely weekend trip. The top American athletes may decide to permanently relocate to Europe. Imagine not being able to see any of your favorite stars when you turn on a WNBA game. That's what we're looking at in the future, should nothing change. Hold on, things aren't all bleak. The WNBA still has hope, but they must move quickly. They need to work out how to divide the money first and foremost. The players must receive a portion of the league's profits if it is profitable. It's wise business, not just fair. Better games result from happy players, and more viewers follow the games. The management department has to be cleaned out next. We are discussing front offices devoid of drama, professional referees, and a league that functions like a well-oiled machine. Every time they on the court, athletes shouldn't feel as though they're in a reality show.